Hey everybody, it is your girl Cami Flowers of the Glow Confidently with Cami community. How are y'all doing on this blessed day? I'm excited because I have an awesome lesson for my mom bosses on tonight. We are going to be discussing the 10 struggles that we often face as being mom bosses. And these are all 10 real points. We're not only going to discuss our pain points, but I'm going to offer some good solutions to y'all. And I hope by the end of this that y'all not only have a new look on things, but also a positive outlook on it and are motivated to move past some of the things that we struggle with and use some of that frustration that as mom bosses we often find, because it is a tough balance, especially if you are a single mom boss. And if you are not familiar with who I am Cami Flowers of the Glow Confidently with Cami community. And I am here to help other mom bosses be organized, get the foundational elements of their business in place, and be the best organized version of yourself that you can be. And if you are also familiar, if you've been following my page, just last Friday, I also introduced a new segment to my company, which is the Glow in Business Design Co., where I offer a couple of different marketing services for my mom bosses. So stay tuned for more of that. But come on, y'all, let's jump right into the 10 lessons or the 10 things that we often find ourselves struggling with. And yeah, I'm at the end. Okay. So one of the things, number one, is a lot of the time we find that we have limited time for business. As single mothers often struggle with finding time for their businesses amidst the responsibility of parenting. Solutions include creating a structured daily schedule to allocate specific times for work and implementing time-saving strategies such as batch working. Or another way that you can do this is called time blocking. Now, what time blocking is, and if this is something that y'all would like to see, please comment and let me know. I would love to do a quick tutorial to show you how I time block. And what that consists of is you basically getting out your calendar, whether you are using a digital calendar, whether that be through your Google, your phone, or whatever, or if you're even using a paper, your planner. And what you'll do is you'll look at, your schedule better than anybody, whether you are a full-time stay-at-home mom or whether you are a mom that is working, whatever your schedule may be. Look and see what are time periods during the day that you can dedicate to your business. And whether that be from 8 to 9 o'clock a.m., that solid hour, pick a task that you need to get done and dedicate that solid hour to that task. And what that means is we're not going to be checking emails. We're not going to be on the phone. We're not going to be searching or surfing social media. We are going to be intentional about whatever the task that we have assigned during that time block to get it done. Now, let me also say we need to learn how to give ourselves grace, because there's plenty of times when I may assign myself some tasks to do within an allotted time. Sometimes, that time may go over. Sometimes I may not be able to get everything done, and I may have to stop. But the thing that I'm be excited about the most is that at least I got started on it and I am in a good place from where I started. So moms, I know we have a lot going on, but I want y'all to also remember to give yourself some grace, okay? So again, to assign yourselves different time periods throughout the day. Also, think about it. When are you the most productive? For some of us, it may be, bright and early in the morning before our kids are up, before our spouses are up, or, whatever your home situation is. But for other of us, it may be doing it late at night once the house is quiet, kids are asleep, so on and so forth. So figure out what are times that you can be intentional about blocking off and getting those tasks done. And I also like to recommend, do not over task yourself every day. Make sure that you are giving yourself no more than 4 tasks per day. And if you have stuff on your list and that is very time consuming, you may have a day where you only have 1 to 2 things on your to-do list, and that's fine. The point is not that we want to be perfect. We want to make progress. Remember, my friend KT Moss, she always says progress over perfection. Okay. So we want to make sure that each day we are making progress. Each day is not going to look the same. Some days we're going to get more done than we probably intended, and other days we might not get that much done. But the thing is, each day wake up with the intention of getting your work, your goals, and all that other good stuff done. Okay. Number two, one of the struggles that sometimes we face as being single mom bosses is a financial strain. Balancing the financial aspects of both parenting and entrepreneurship can be challenging. Solutions involve creating a detailed budget, exploring cost-cutting measures, and seeking financial assistance or grants available for single moms. Y'all, I know sometimes, especially if you're like me, sometimes, we feel like we are on this boat, on this little island all by ourselves, and we have so much on our shoulders. We have not only the household bills, we may have business bills on top of having to take care of ourselves, on top of having to take care of our children. And sometimes we are looking, what is that saying? That there's more month than money or whatever, but sometimes we have to learn how to ask for help. We have to learn how to not only ask for help, but ask for help in the areas that we are struggling in. If you're not good at managing your finances, it may be time to take some financial literacy classes. It may be time to take some small steps in the direction to be getting financially fit. And making sure that we are being using wisdom when it comes to our finances and so on and so forth. But also look for resources. And at the end of this, I'm going to share some resources that I have for my mom bosses. But I want you to also, like it said, looking for grants. There are grants available for single mothers. And it's just a matter of looking for them and seeing what's out there and what you may qualify for. So don't ever think that there is not help available. And then also when you are starting a business, especially depending on what type of business that you are starting, there are so many free resources available out there to you. So I am going to do, excuse me, I am going to do another video or we'll have a Q&A session at a later time where I'm discussing and going over some of the free tools, resources, and that sort of thing that can help you when you are starting your own business. Okay. Number 3 is emotional burnout. Y'all, I've been there, done that. And the most important thing when it comes to emotional burnout is knowing your triggers and knowing when you are on the verge of burning out so you can identify that thing and nip it in the bud and move yourself into a healthier place. The pressure of managing both personal and professional aspects can lead to emotional exhaustion. Solutions include prioritizing self-care, seeking emotional support from a community or therapist, and setting realistic expectations for both parenting and business goals. I know I've shared this with the community a while ago, but I think it was either earlier this year or last year when I was just, my cup was empty. And remember, moms, y'all will hear me say all the time that we cannot pour from an empty cup, but my cup was empty. I was tired. I was emotionally drained. I just literally had nothing else in me. And I had to ask for help. And it's crazy because I actually didn't ask for help. Someone that I'm very close with noticed that I hadn't been in communication and I was just on their heart, and they reached out to me and text like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you good? What's going on?" And I'm like, you know what? I'm not. I am not okay, so on and so forth. And they was like, you know what? Let Isaiah come stay with us for the weekend while you get away, do what you need to do, so on and so forth. And I had to take that moment to regroup. And self-care is so crucial. I cannot preach this enough, because if we cannot pour from an empty cup, meaning we cannot, if we are burning on E and we are not taking care of ourselves, then we are not going to be good to not only ourselves, but we're not going to be any good to our children, those at work, those in the community, wherever it is that you are serving. You're not going to be any good. We have to learn how to pour into ourselves. So what does self-care look like? Well, for what self-care looks like for me and for you, it could be totally different because we're different people. For me, forms of self-care, like earlier, I found myself getting, in a kind of an emotional state. I turned on some music, Maxwell. listening to Maxwell greatest hits in my Apple playlist, and as the music was jamming through the room, it started to mellow out my mood. Reading is another thing, another form of self-care for me. When the weather is great, going outside, getting in the sun, going on a walk, that's self-care. Making sure that I'm taking care of my body properly. That means eating properly, getting in some daily exercise, making sure that I am feeding my body with the nutrients that it needs, spending time in prayer, spending time saying affirmations. Those are different ways that I practice self-care within myself. Another thing that it says is getting help from your community, seeking therapy. We have got to get away from the stigma that something is wrong with therapy. We have to learn to get people out of our ear when it comes to therapy. There's a lot of stigma within the community, especially the Black community, where we feel like, oh, we don't need a therapist. What is a therapist going to tell me? Let me tell you something. If you are finding yourself where you are emotionally drained, you're tired, you just have a lot going on and you need that support, there is absolutely nothing wrong with finding a therapist, because they are going to help you sort through and work through the different layers of what's going on and help you find the solutions that you need. Okay. Don't ever let nobody tell you that therapy is not, doesn't work. One moment. This is my son trying to FaceTime me now. Okay. So get the support that you need for as long as you need it. Also, remember, set realistic expectations for both parenting and for your business. I know how I am. Sometimes I be working and I get in the zone, and that's all I'm wanting to focus my attention on at the time. But realistically, if you got kids at home, you have to find out those blocks of time where you can be business focused, and then also be realistic. Your kids need you. Our kids need us, mama. So we have to be intentional about setting our schedules to where we can be productive during the times when we need to be working on business, but also setting the expectation that when business time is done, we need to be present with our children. Okay. And some days, we may rock that thing out, and other days we may not do so well. But you know what? Keep going. Take each day as a learning lesson and keep moving. Okay. Number 4, lack of a support system. Single moms may feel isolated without a strong support system. Solutions involve building a network of friends, family, or fellow single mompreneurs for emotional support and practical assistance when needed. I don't know about y'all, but there was a time when I felt like I was literally on that isolated island by myself, that I did not have and do not have the support system that I need. And so I did feel, and sometimes still feel, the burden of, parenting just primarily on my shoulders. And then I had to learn how to ask for help. I had to learn how to get my son in programs and activities and different things that will help him in the areas that he needs, to where he's able to mingle with other kids, get the socialization that he needs outside of school, and things like that. But we have to put in effort. People aren't going to come knocking on your door saying, hey, I just figured I'd knock on your door because you seem like somebody that needs a support system. No, you have to make an effort to do this thing. You have to make the effort to go out and find a supportive group of moms, whether that the first step of that may be, finding a good group on Facebook of mom bosses, whether it may be finding a group of mom bosses in the community. I know at the church that my son and I attend, they have a moms group. This group meets in the fall. So when I finally, I was new to joining the church. So when I finally found the group, they only had like 2 more sessions left for the season. However, I did go during those 2 sessions. I learned a lot. It was great being in the room with other moms. And as I was talking and hearing other moms talk, I realized the things that I be going through, other mamas is going through the same thing. Even though our households and different things may look different, some of the scenarios may be slightly different, but we're all going and growing and through the same challenges and different things like that with our family. So it's important to build those communities, because you learn that, one, you have help, and two, you're not alone in this thing. Okay, so I want y'all to be intentional about building your support systems. Okay. Number 5, difficulty in planning business. So for single moms, we may find it challenging to dedicate time to plan and strategize for our businesses. Excuse me. Solutions include breaking down business planning into manageable tasks, utilizing digital tools. Just one second, I done skipped ahead. Utilizing digital tools to help you get organized, and seeking mentorship for guidance. Now, one of the things that I like to do, and even this one ties back into the first slide when we were talking about time blocking. We have to be intentional about our time, but also during those times when you have a lot of things going on in your mind, you have a lot of thoughts, plans, ideas, all that other stuff going through your mind, get you out a pen, a notepad, and a paper. Y'all see this? Love this notebook. I keep this notebook close to me. And what I do when things are going through this head, and not even just my notebook, if I if the notebook, by chance, if I'm in another part of the room or whatever, and I have something pop in my brain, what I have learned at this wonderful age of 40 is, y'all know how oftentimes we'll say, I'll remember it, or I'll come back to that thing. Do not trust your memory. Start writing stuff down, voice record it, whatever. But even if by chance I don't have the notebook right there within reach, I'll take my phone, I'll email myself, or I'll make a note. The best way that I like to do is, if I have to use my phone, I'll email it to myself. That way I know it's not going to get lost in a notepad on my phone that I might not use that often. But if it's in the email, I know it's going to be before me. But for all those thoughts, ideas, and different things that are going through your head, start brain dumping. And brain dumping simply is, you have your notebook and your pen, and you're writing down all those ideas, all those thoughts, all those plans. There's no specific order or anything. You're just writing it all down. Once you get through writing it down, that's when you'll take the extra steps of organizing it and putting it on your to-do list for the week. Now, stay tuned, because I do have a class coming up that is going to be talking about the importance of goal setting and brain dumping. It's going to be a 2-part series. So I want y'all to stay tuned. I'll let y'all know ahead of time when it's dropping, but these are going to be important tools for you to use, because I know how it is, especially if you're a creative like me. I'm always having different ideas, different thoughts, and inspirations and whatnot going through my head. And the thing is, we have to learn how to prioritize those things, because sometimes something will pop up and then I'll be wanting to jump to go do it. But I'll remember, this is not where my focus is supposed to be at this particular time. So that's why it's important to get it all written down. So when you have time and you're able to move something up, move on a new project, you'll have it written down and know where you can be able to allocate time for that thing. But there are so many different tools out here that are free that will allow you to plan and do different things that you need. And I'm going to say this. A lot of people, we go to YouTube, as I call it, YouTube University, Instagram and stuff, and we'll listen to the few-minute videos that business coaches and other people put on. But there's going to come a time in your business that you have to make an investment in your business and in yourself by finding you, whether that be a coach, a mentor, or what have you. And this person is going to be able to help you strategize, help you plan, help you get you on the right track to where you can be the best organized and productive version of yourself, as well as getting your business where it needs to go and helping you see what helping bring to light things that we can't always see from the outside looking in. Okay. So make sure you are utilizing, digital tools and things like that that's going to help you stay organized. And it can be something as simple as a planner. Okay. And I'm going to get to that at the end of this presentation. Okay. Okay. Number 6, work-life balance struggles. Achieving a balance between work and personal life can be elusive. Solutions involve setting clear boundaries, prioritizing tasks, and embracing the concept that it's okay to ask for help or delegate certain responsibilities. I don't know where it came from for some of us where we feel like it's not okay to ask for help. And I used to be one of the ones. I don't it was partially a pride thing, and it was a partially I can do this, I got this sort of thing. But me having that mentality of I can do this, I got this, caused me to be burnt out. Okay. We have got to again be intentional about time blocking. We have to be intentional about setting boundaries, and that can be even with our children. If you have a designated time during the day, especially during the summer, you may not run into this as much during, when the school year is up, because, while you're at home, if you're a stay-at-home mom or you're at work, whatever, your kids are at school, you may have a little bit more wiggle room. But if you're a stay-at-home mom during the summertime, you have got to be intentional about setting boundaries. So if you have a block of time throughout the day where you're wanting to focus on business, then be intentional about giving your kids a task that they can be focused on during that time, so that you are able to focus on what you need to focus on, but also so they have what they need. But take it one step further. Setting the boundary starts with you having a conversation with your children and letting them know, hey, mommy, it needs this time. I'm going to start at this time and I'm going to end at this time. And this is my time so that I can work on what I need to work on. During this time, I have the expectation that I need you to be doing X, Y, Z. Now, for some kids, depending on the personality of your kid, that may work right off. For other kids, you may have to it may be a work in progress to get to that point, but you have to set boundaries. And the same thing also goes for, if you have a spouse or a significant other at home. Oftentimes, especially if you're someone who works from home, people assume because you're at home, then your time is not dedicated to work, that your time is flexible or whatever. You have to set the boundary that no, this is my work time. This is my dedicated time. I'm not available for X, Y, Z. Please be respectful of my time, because it's so easy for us to get off track, whether that be the TV, whether that be your phone pinging, whether that be, email notifications coming through. It's so easy before you know it, you look up and you didn't pick up the phone saying, oh, let me just check Facebook real quick. And before you know it, you've been scrolling through your timeline for 10, 15, 20 minutes. When that 10, 15, 20 minutes could have been dedicated towards working on whatever you needed to do for your business. Imagine how many emails that you could schedule to go out within that 10, 15, 20 minutes that you were scrolling on Facebook. Okay. So keep those type of things in the forefront of your mind when you are trying to create healthy work-life balances. Okay. Number 7, health and well-being challenges. Juggling multiple roles can lead to neglecting personal health. Solutions include incorporating small, consistent health practices into the routine, such as short daily exercises, healthy meal planning, and regular health checkups. Moms, I'll say it again. We cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to take care of you. I realized, when was it? Last year, I do believe, I realized that not only could I not pour from an empty cup, but to do the work that I know that God has for me to do and what my vision is, and I know where I'm going, I have to be the best version of me, the best version of me mentally, physically, financially, spiritually. I can't, one thing that I struggled with was Not only was I overweight, but I also struggled with high blood pressure. And it got to the point to where one time I went to the hospital, my blood pressure was like two something over one something, I think. It was high. It was stroke level high. And it was only by the grace of God that I was able to walk, get treatment to bring my blood pressure down, but I was able to walk back out of the hospital. I sit and think about things like that because I'm like, I'm too young for this. I got too much to live for. And there's no way that I am going to allow myself to be taken off this earth early and leave my son over something that I know is preventable. So I had to be intentional about pushing him away from the table. I had to be intentional about feeding my body the things that it loved. Like during the summertime is what I call my glow time. I love my melons, especially watermelon. And so that was one of the things that I really honed in on to help me lose the weight was I incorporated watermelon. I started doing my natural herbal tea blends, and my different supplements and things like that. And I did more of a holistic approach to help achieve the weight loss. Now, the season that I'm in now is maintaining, is doing my exercising. Sometimes I do exercising at home. Other times, 4 to 5 days out during the week, I have a walking partner. We meet up. We do some walking. We get the steps in, and we get a good workout. So we have to find little things. And when we think of working out, sometimes we overthink things and we make this thing more complicated than it has to be. Start small. Even if you have to just walk halfway down the block and back. Next thing you do that for a couple of days, and before you know it, you instead of walking halfway down the block, you done walked all the way to the end of the block and back. Then before you know it, you done walk from the end of the block to around the corner and back. Start small. The problem that we get off track is because we be overthinking this thing. It's not that complicated, y'all. Okay, we got to start somewhere, and I want to explain something to y'all. And yes, I'm about to go in because health and well-being is very important to me because I am the type of person, I believe in a holistic approach. I'm the type of person that believes there's a natural cure for everything under the sun. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that if you are on a medication that you need to stop it and go the natural route. If you're on a medication for XYZ, I recommend going to your doctor, letting them know what your plans are. Going to a herbalist, doing your research and everything like that. Don't never just stop cold turkey, okay? But I believe in taking care of the body. Health and hygiene is something that is on the top of my list that I take very seriously. I am a firm believer that it is something that we have to be intentional about, and it takes work. A lot of times we don't like to do it because we think that it is supposed to be a microwave effect. We think that on day one we eat good and we just gonna automatically see a bunch of weight fall off. It don't work like that. It did not take a day for us to gain the weight. It's gonna take longer than a day for the weight to come off. But I guarantee you, if you do small things every day and be consistent with it, you will start to notice a change. Not only are you going to notice a change in the look of how you are looking, you are going to notice a change in how you are feeling. I'm gonna have a transparent moment with y'all. So some of y'all know who have followed my journey that last year I stopped eating meat. I did still consume some dairy, but I stopped eating meat. I was strictly plant-based. Fruits, vegetables, that's all I consumed. And I did still consume eggs. And my body felt great. I had more energy, just everything, my glow, everything was on point. Here recently, I decided to start dabbling again. I started with fish. And then after the fish, I started eating chicken again. Well, I started to notice that as I started getting back doing that I started noticing different changes in my body. Me taking a while, when I get drained and different things like that, I've lost a little pep in my steps. So where I'm at right now is doing a little reset. I'm getting ready to go on a cleanse and get back to my plant-based lifestyle because I truly felt like a better version of me when I was doing that. So I'm saying all that to say is that we have to listen to your body. A lot of times our bodies tell us exactly what it needs, it's just that we don't listen to it. A lot of times when we go in there for that extra snack that we don't need, you hear that small voice that say, you don't need that. Don't eat that. If you want something to eat, choose this, not that. And we be shutting that small voice up and still going after what we don't need. If we are going to be the best versions of ourselves, we have to make better choices. Okay. I'm going to leave y'all alone, but we're going to move on to number 8. Uncertainty in business growth. Single moms may face uncertainty about the growth of their business. Solutions include continuous learning, networking with other entrepreneurs, seeking mentorship to gain insights and sustainable business strategies. Y'all, I know sometimes, especially when we look at the economy, especially, if we looking at everything else, especially except for what we should be focused on, sometimes we can feel like everything that's going on, we uncertain about the future of our business and things like that. But let me tell you something. If God gave you the vision for it, he is going to give you what you need to see that thing through. The thing that we have to realize is that we have to be steadfast. We have to be focused. We got to be able to look at this thing with faith eyes. And what do I mean by faith eyes is that we have our blinders on. We are focused on what we need to be focused on. And we are not getting caught up in what it looks like. We are having faith. Having faith eyes means that in spite of what it looks like, we know what God planned for us. We know that better is ahead. Okay. We're not going to get caught up by what the world may look like or what is presented to us, because that's not always the case. Sometimes God will do things because he wants to know, are we going to quit or are we going to push through and trust him? In this season, I need to know that y'all are on the track of pushing through and trusting him. So we need to be in a position to constantly be trying to grow, constantly be trying to learn. And what does that mean? Take a moment. Let me back up. As business owners, I know that sometimes we get frustrated with the process. Like when we start out, things might be booming. We might be getting clients back to back, sales, whatever type of business that you're in, it might be booming. And then we go through a slow season. And y'all don't realize there's a blessing in the slow season. We go to get that slow season happen. I said season, and boy, I am not season, and not realizing that is a time that we need to take to slow down and be intentional about working on some of the things on the back end of our business. Sometimes when we're busy, especially if you are in a business by yourself and you might not have a network or support system or office staff or whatever yet. And notice I said yet, because you might be doing it by yourself now, but I promise you, if you be faithful and keep working at it, God's going to send you the help that you need. Okay. But take the time during the slow season to work on stuff that you wouldn't ordinarily have time for when you're in the busy season. So when it's during the slow season, what I like to do is make sure that, one, I'm on track with where my plans are for the quarter, for the year, wherever, making sure that my emails are scheduled. Social media posts are scheduled for the month. My blogs are scheduled. I'm monitoring my finances, different things like that. There's always things that we could be doing during the slow season. Don't think, oh, it's a slow season, it's my time to sit back and chill. No, it's your time to focus. Sit down and focus. Sit those little hips down and focus. Yes, YouTube is a wonderful tool. I have learned so much from YouTube when I look at the Social Proof podcast with Donnie Wiggins and David Shin. Right now, that is one of my most favorite podcasts right now, because I learned so much. Ronnie Brown, I think I'm pronouncing her name is either Ronnie Brown. I can't think of the name of her podcast. Oh, Girl CEO. I do believe that's the name of her podcast. She is awesome to watch. There are so many different wonderful teachings on YouTube. Earn Your Leisure. If y'all been following me for any amount of time, y'all know I'm always talking about Earn Your Leisure, EYL University, from financial literacy to anything that you can think of within your business. They are talking about it, and you are going to learn something. Okay. There are so many different options out there. Tune in, take the time, and grab your pen and paper, because they be spitting and giving you the real full transparency with Donnie Wiggins. She did a podcast earlier in the year, the 10 things you need to audit in your business. If you don't start nowhere else, find that podcast. And I think I actually shared it on my Facebook business page some months ago. But go to YouTube, Full Transparency by Donnie Wiggins, and find that video, 10 things you need to audit in your business. And she gives you a full breakdown. I mean, she gives it to you good. Get you a pen and paper and be ready to take notes and learn. But there's going to take a time. Remember, I said a couple of slides ago, when we were going to have to invest, there's going to come a time when you're going to have to invest in your business. What does that look like? That may be finding a mentor or a coach. That may be taking the time to invest and finding different business conferences and stuff that are within the industry that you're in, or just other business conferences that are going to help you with other mom bosses, whatever the type of conference is. You do the research to see what's going on. There's one called Invest Fest that is hosted by Earn Your Leisure. And it feels like I was just talking about this a month ago, and it's already been a year since the last one. And I do believe they're doing it in Atlanta this year in August. Well, on my end, I didn't do the proper planning and what have you, so I don't think I'm going to be able to attend it this year. But next year I'll definitely be there, because they have so many men and women entrepreneurs there that are giving you the game, that are giving you the goods. And not only are you learning great information, it is an excellent opportunity for networking. When I tell y'all, we have to get past the shyness, get past the saying we're these introverts and all that. We need to get past it and get ourselves in the rooms with those that can lock in with us and help take us to the next level, as well as those that we can also pour into as well. Y'all, it's time to step our games up and get to it. Number 9, childcare dilemmas. Now, I know I'm not the only one who has dealt with this one. So finding reliable and affordable childcare options can be a significant challenge. Solutions include exploring local resources, co-parenting arrangements, excuse me, and considering flexible work hours or remote work options. Now, I will say in this area, I am very blessed. I am a remote worker. I work from home. So, and my son's school is very close to home. So if he's ever sick, or if I have to ever go pick him up from school, which does not happen often, I have the ability to go take an early lunch, go do what I need to do, come back home and continue work. Or if it's a time when school is out, I don't have to worry about, well, how am I going to find somebody to watch him, because I work from home. However, I know everybody does not have that option. So a couple of things that you can do. If your job has child care reimbursement programs or anything like that, normally during open enrollment once a year, they give you an option to allocate a certain amount to come out your check that can go towards child care. Start setting those funds aside, and those can be used towards child care. If you have a good co-parenting relationship, or the other parent is, around, have that open communication, work out schedules, and make arrangements to where, y'all can share the load. There's options out here. And I know some of us may not have family or friends or, the options, but this is one of those times where you have to learn to network and then ask for help when it's needed, or figure out what the best option for you is going to be. And number 10, limited access to resources. As single moms, we may have limited access to resources needed for business growth. Solutions involve researching and tapping into local business resources, grants, and educational programs designed to support entrepreneurs, especially single mothers. Now, I know that there is a place where I am from in Kansas City, Missouri, called SCORE. I think that's the name of it, SCORE. Matter of fact, let me make sure I have this right. I'm going to look it up on my phone. So SCORE, it's www.score.org. And they actually have, it's a mentoring program. Let me make sure. I feel like this is the place. Okay, so yes, they actually are nationwide. So you would have to look and see where you can find them in your area. SCORE Mentoring is a free service offered to any aspiring or established business owner of a U.S.-based business. So again, that's www.score.org. That is a free resource. You can go on their website. You can get matched with a mentor. Most of the time, there may be one, depending on where you're located in your city. If not, I'm sure that they have the ability. I mean, nowadays with technology, the ability to make it virtual. Okay. But you do the research, build your network, do what you need to do to get yourself the resources that you need. Again, I'm going to do a separate video that talks about a lot of the free resources available to us, like for social media, for instance. There are a lot of scheduling tools out here. It's been a while since I've used anything other than the Business MetaSuite through Facebook, but there was some tools at one point that offered free scheduling. But then after a while, a lot of them moved to being paid platforms. But as of now, Facebook offers, you can schedule for free your Facebook and Instagram posts. You can schedule up to 30 days of content at a time. And why am I telling you this? Is because when you go ahead and utilize automation, you are scheduling things in one moment that you can free up your time to do other things. So I can time block one evening and work on getting my social media post scheduled for the month. So then the next day, I'm not having to worry about what am I going to post. I already have that done. I can use that time to do something else. I can take another block of time in another evening to use the scheduling tool. I schedule my email and blog posts through GoDaddy. And so what I'll set aside time to do is get my emails. I send out one email every Monday of the month. So that is 4 to 5 emails a month that I'll go ahead and schedule, get that out the way. Boom, emails are done. My blog posts go out on Saturdays. I'll go ahead and get those schedules, the time to get those blog posts done for every Saturday of the month and get those done. If I have extra time, I may continue scheduling and get maybe 1 to 2 months done at a time. But either way, I'm getting that out the way so that I am making time for other things. One thing that I have created for us mom bosses it's called the Mom Boss Vault. Now, I know what it is to not only be a single mother, but also to have limited resources to allocate towards, whether it be purchasing, training, or business classes, different tools and that sort of thing. So what I did is I created a $5 hub that has planners, journals, workbooks, and things of that nature for what we need for our business. And this is just a couple of them. And I'm just noticing that I got two pictures on here of the vision board workbook. Anyhow, I have different planners, journals, workbooks, and more designed to help you get organized, designed to help you plan your business goals. You see the one we talked about brain dumping earlier. I have a brain dumping workbook, and they are all $5. Now I do have other journals, books, planners, and more that are cost more. But for the $5 hub, and just because it's $5, don't mean that it's just something that's just ran through or just quickly put together. I put time, effort, energy, and thought into each and every one of these tools, because I had to first think, what are some of the things that I need as a mom boss to help me get organized, to help me get on a good foot, so on and so forth. And so I took the time to develop tools that I know that would be not only cost effective, but also very good for us. Okay. So I want y'all to go to my website. It is www.camiflowers.com. And I want you to click on shop. Well, first of all, go through the website. I want you to learn a little bit more about me and what I do, but click on shop and then scroll down to the Mom Boss Vault. And you'll be able to see all the different planners, workbooks, and so on and so forth that I have in there. And we talked about time blocking throughout this teaching. There is a time blocking workbook in there, as well as a brain dump workbook in there as well, to help you organize your time, to help you brain dump and get all those ideas out of your head, and then also take it one step further and help you plan them out throughout the week. So I created this because I know what it's like not to have the resources that we need. And I want to make sure that I'm giving you the tools that you need to get on the good foot and be organized and be the best version of you. So I know y'all see that scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I need y'all, if you have not already, I need you to click the link in my bio. Or if you're already on the website browsing the Mom Boss Hub, you would have gotten a pop-up when you first went to the website. Go ahead and enter your email address in there. I want you to join the Glow Confidently with Cami community. I am going to be sharing more teaching. You'll be the first to know about different things that's going on within the community that's not necessarily privy in the Facebook and Instagram, the social media streets. And you'll be the first to know when I have different YouTube classes and things going on. Okay. And then if you are a mom boss, I do have an exclusive Facebook community for us. So you can search. It should be searchable in the groups. It's called the Elevate Her Glow Tribe. Elevate Her Glow Tribe. You can search Facebook. If for whatever reason you can't get it to come up, send me a DM and I'll send you the link to the group. Y'all, it's time for us to come together. Remember, iron sharpens iron. Okay, I had a wonderful time teaching y'all on tonight. I hope that y'all gained something from this. And what we covered tonight, if you joined late, it was the 10 problems that single moms face while trying to run a business. And I also offer practical solutions for those problems that we often face. Okay, so y'all be blessed. Have a good night. And don't forget to click the link in my bio and subscribe. Have a great day.